Ready? Yeah. Hello people on the YouTube. This is Sunyo coming to you from Jhana Grove in an empty hall. And again, I feel a bit like a fool talking to nobody. It feels really weird. Maybe if you are by yourself right now, pause the video and just talk to a wall or something, and you'll get some idea of how I feel. Or if you're in a car, just talk to your steering wheel, something like that. It's a bit awkward, but I just imagine people listening to this, and I was asked to give this talk yesterday, and then my first initial reaction was, oh, are we still doing those talks? Aren't there enough talks on the internet by now? Because I've been away for a while, and I didn't realize that we're still doing these talks for having to do with the coronavirus. And at some point, you've heard so much Dhamma that, like me, I've heard so many talks all over the years. At some point, you're like, I don't need any more talks. Why do we need the talks to keep coming? And but don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be talking here, although talking to an empty hall. But it's I'm happy to do it. But sometimes you think, like, do we need to keep expanding our knowledge? Do we need to always keep hearing more and more stuff about Dhamma, or do we just reach a point where we just practice instead and just let go of all these talks? I like all the Buddhist texts where there are monks or the nuns or the lay people. They would come to the Buddha and ask, just give me a short teaching, and with that short teaching I will just practice. And they just took that short teaching and went to a quiet place and practiced for a long time, and they usually became enlightened just by that. So that shows you that we don't need too much teachings. And as I said, sometimes it's just maybe the Dhamma teachings are more sometimes for entertainment instead of information. And sometimes also it's the opposite. You get so many talks, it gets a bit boring after a while. I mean, Ajahn Brahm is a great teacher, but sometimes I just like, another talk, I just want to meditate, to stay in my heart. But usually it's always still funny, the talks anyway. That reminds me of a little story or a little joke, actually, that I heard a while ago, and I've been teaching, that I've been telling people. And it's about a man who goes to the doctor, and he comes to the doctor and says, doctor, my heart is it's burning, and my stomach, it's not good, it's all like painful, and my knees, doctor, can you please check me out? I don't think I'm very well. And the doctor says, okay, just sit over here, I'll check you out. So he takes his heart thing, what do you call it, stethoscope or something, and they listen to his heart. He takes his pulse, his blood pressure, and all these things that doctors do. And then the doctor says, oh, sorry, I've got some bad news for you. Oh no, the man, what is it? The doctor, oh, sorry, you've only got 6 more months to live. The man is, no, only 6 months. Doctor, what can I do? And the doctor says, oh yeah, well, what you can do is listen to the talks by the monks of Bodhinyana Monastery and the nuns of the BSWA, especially the talks of Sunyo. And the man is like, why will that make me live any longer? Will it make me better? And the doctor says, no, it won't make you any better, but at least it'll be the longest 6 months of your life. And I just love that because, sometimes all this talking and stuff, it just gets a bit boring, but it's like when you meditate, sometimes it's the opposite. It doesn't seem long at all. The time seems to fly by. Like this morning, I woke up really early and just started meditating straight away because I felt really awake usually when I wake up, and meditated for maybe 2 hours or something. But it just flew by. My alarm clock to go for the work meeting went, it felt like only like 40 minutes or something, or less even. So this is something that shows you that meditation can be really enjoyable, because when you enjoy yourself, that's when the time flies, don't they say? At least that's a Dutch expression. I think it's English expression as well. Time flies by, that's right, when you're having fun. But maybe there is some truth actually in this doctor's advice of listening to Dhamma talks to make you physically better as well. I'm just making a bit of a joke out of it, but I think there can be some truth in it as well. Because meditation, we can learn to relax our body and our mind. And especially the relaxation of the body is so good for helping you to fight illnesses and also to prevent illnesses in the first place. Since I've been meditating, I've been way less sick in my life as before, and I don't get sick actually much at all. If I do, it's just like a flu or a little cold or something that just lasts for a little bit, maybe a couple of days. I've not been for a doctor since I was a little kid, and my parents forced me to go. So never did I go to a doctor by myself, but it's definitely to do with meditation as well. Because I remember these times you just feel sick and you got this feeling, okay, if I don't relax properly right now, then I'm gonna really be sick for a while. So I've had these really clear memories where I just feel fluish and bad, and you want to sleep, but you decide, okay, I'm gonna meditate instead. And I remember this very well. I was still, one of these memories is so sharp. I was in Anagarika still. It is like a monk, somebody who wants to become a monk. That's what we call an Anagarika. And I was meditating in my room. I remember leaning against the wall because I was quite tired and just didn't feel well, but meditating, relaxing my body, and just sending peace to the sickness feeling. And I remember this one moment in time that I just felt it, the click, and the whole sickness just disappeared right away in one moment. And I just knew I was not gonna get any sicker, and was not gonna develop that sickness. And it's not just me. I mean, I talk about me because I have my own experiences to share, but it's also other people who have had these kind of experiences, and it's everybody can learn to do these kind of things. So that's why we've been teaching you meditation. That's one of the reasons, is to learn how to relax the body, and by that, one thing that can happen is to prevent and overcome sicknesses. Also, it's just really nice to relax the body. Sometimes you just feel so relaxed by meditating. You just feel like you're made of cotton candy. That's how it sort of feels like to me I don't know what it would feel like to be cotton candy, but if it would be like anything, it would be like that. That's what you feel like. So really nice and soft and sweet and fluffy. And you just want to sit there and just be there. And you don't need a jacuzzi or a massage or anything like that. All you need is a place to sit and be quiet. That's all you need. So that, as you know, Ajahn Brahm, our main teacher, he has put a lot of attention on relaxing the body and meditation, and probably in all those other talks that have been given over these last weeks. I suppose many of the other monks also focused on this aspect of meditation, to relax the body. And sometimes it sounds so easy. We just give the instruction during the guided meditation. Now just relax your body and be kind to your body. That's what we say. But it doesn't always work though, does it? I've met some people, they come up to me and say, this doesn't work. I want to relax my body, but it just won't relax. I've got this tension here, or whatever they have, and it just won't relax. So sometimes we need little tricks or techniques to help us relax our body. And looking at the clock here, I've seen it. I've already spent a lot of time just talking random stuff, but what I actually wanted to talk about is ways to relax our body. And I have 5 ways to relax the body. I hope I can remember them all. So 5 techniques to help us to become peaceful, like the cotton candy or whatever. And so that can be like a springboard into meditation, because when your body is peaceful, then it becomes so much more easy to do all the other things that we do in meditation, like focusing on our breathing and relaxing the mind and going inside. Eventually lose awareness of the body altogether, because it's relaxed. You don't need to worry about it. You just forget about it and just focus on the inside and on the mind. So anyway, 5 techniques to relax the body. And the first one is to use some visualization. I might as well just do it right here while I'm sitting here. So what you do is you focus on your breathing and on your body, and you breathe in relaxation. Imagine like nice, cool, relaxing air coming in. Breathe out all the tension in your body. You can even imagine that the tension, maybe the breath that comes out has all this tension, so it maybe is black colored or whatever. It helps you visualize this. You breathe in all the relaxation, the peace. You breathe in peace. And you spread that peace throughout your body. And you breathe out all the tension. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out all the tension in your body. I just want to sit here and just meditate it, but I promised 5 methods, so I'd better we should live up to our promises, shouldn't we? So I'd better give you some others as well. And then afterwards you can pick one of those 5 and just spend some time meditating on that. So that was the first one. Breathe in the relaxation, breathe out all the tension. Second one is to do with positivity. with focusing on the good things. Because often when we have some stress in our body, or maybe we have a headache or a pain in our back, that's what I used to get all the time, pains in my back. So annoying it was. Always meditating, always pain in my back. Until I actually found some ways to overcome that. But what we usually do is we focus, when we sit down, that's where we focus on straight away. It's so automatic. But in a way, it's quite negative and fault-finding. Why do we focus on this negative feeling straight away? There's so much more in our body going on, and there's always nice parts as well. Just like there was once a king, and he wanted to hire a new gardener. And he invited some blokes over who said they were gardeners, good gardeners, and the king just showed them around the garden. First, he went with the first guy, and he went around the garden and showed him the compost heap, the flower beds, the trees, everything. And this first guy said, "Oh, Sir King, see between your rose bed there are some small weeds. I can take care of those." "Okay," said the king. And then he went with the second guy. And the second guy, same tour around the garden. And this guy said, "Oh, king, look at the compost heap. There is some flowers growing on the compost heap. That's so beautiful." And who did the king hire? Of course, he hired the second guy, because the second guy, he is a positive guy. He doesn't focus on the weeds. He focuses on the flowers. Even if they're small flowers growing on a compost heap, they're still flowers. It's so beautiful. It's the same with our body. We may have a compost heap of a body that's stinky and all painful, but there's always also parts of the body which are relaxed. So we focus on that instead. And that's the second technique. Focus on the relaxed parts of your body. So, for example, if I sit right here right now, I feel a bit tensions in my shoulder, but that's not what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on where is it relaxed. So I ask myself, body, where do you feel comfortable right now? And it's actually, my feet are very comfortable. Usually they are. So I'll focus on that instead and try if I can spread that relaxation, from my feet, if I can spread it further into my legs and further into my knees. I'm going a bit quick now. You should take some time to do this. But again, I'm just giving you some technique right now, and then afterwards you can just pick any of them and practice by yourself. So I just spread this relaxation. I slowly spread it towards through my entire body. And then eventually I come up to my shoulder, and then only as the very last thing I focus on my shoulder. So you go the other way around. Instead of focusing first on your stressful parts, you focus first on your relaxed parts, and from there spread out the peace and relaxation. That's one I do very often, actually. So I find it very helpful. I've been doing that for a long time, and probably has been taught by somebody else already many times before, but that's probably where I picked it up. And that's your second technique that you can try to do. The third technique is actually one from the Buddha himself, from the suttas, because when you look at what is called the awakening factors, it's a bit technical, but there's 7 awakening factors the Buddha taught, and in that, one of them is called passaddhi, and it's that could be translated as relaxation, or usually translated tranquility. or calm. And one of the parts of this tranquility is bodily tranquility or bodily calm, so bodily relaxation. And the Buddha says this bodily relaxation is passaddhi is based on what is called piti, which could translate as joy. So he says, first you have to be joyful, and then it's so much more easy to relax your body. So maybe in times when you're really sick or when you really have a hard time relaxing your body, instead, don't start with the body, start instead with the mind. This is another trick which I use when my body is really tense, maybe I've been working hard or something like that. I just don't feel like focusing on my body for some reason. I can just start with creating some piti, some joy in my mind. So I might focus on something that makes me happy. And there are some traditional things that we can focus on, like generosity. We can focus on our own generosity, that we've been sharing things with others, or we can focus on the generosity of others. They've been sharing things with us, and that makes us very happy. Or we can focus on our good conduct, on our Buddhists. They generally keep precepts to not lie, not steal, and you don't have to be a Buddhist for that. I think many people automatically keep those kind of things, and often we don't do those things, but we don't reflect on it, and that's really a waste, actually, because we have by not lying, not stealing, not killing, etc., we actually build up a lot of power in our minds, and the power to be happy because of that, because of those abstinence of all those things. So what we can do is actually willfully or with determination actually bring up those kind of thoughts of, I've been really practicing well, not killed any living being for so long, and I have not lied, or maybe I don't know about you, maybe you did a few little lies, but that's all right, can't be perfect, but at least focus on the big picture, how that you've been practicing very well. And I can still remember like things I did for others years ago, and I can still bring them up and still be happy for them. So like just carrying somebody's bags into an airplane, or things like that. That's people are so grateful for. So and you just remember, and I just bring that up. You just focus on that, the joy that it gives you, memories like that. And if you are getting really in tune with this kind of joy, you can then take that joy and actually spread it throughout the body. Take it out of the mind and use it to relax your body. Again, I'm going quite quick now. Usually you would take quite a while to do this. You don't rush through it like I do now. I was told I only have half an hour. I think I may have already almost passed that. But whatever, should be right, is what they say here in Australia. So yeah, so usually you take some time to do all these practices. But that's number 3. That's spreading the joy throughout. Start with joy. That's number 3. So number 1 is breathing in and breathing out, breathing in the peace, breathing out the tension. Number 2 was start with the peaceful feeling. Number 3 is start with the joy. And number 4 is another one. It's actually from the Buddha. It is contemplation of the body. So, contemplation of the body, different ways you can do it, but what I like to do is what's called scanning your body. So you sit and meditate, or you can even do these things in whatever posture. You don't have to sit, but usually you sit. And then you scan your body. You start with maybe the top of your head. You focus on that, and then you just realize what is that over there. Oh, it's just a little bit of short hairs. I've still got hairs here. I'll lose those eventually. And then there's just skin. And you wouldn't touch it usually, you would just sit. And you just start scanning through your body. Oh, in here it's just a brain and a bit floating in a bit of liquid, you know. This is called the body contemplation of the body parts. So you just focus, go through your body. What are the body parts and what are they like? Oh, these are just eyeballs. Basically just some sort of liquidy, gooey stuff. And by focusing on how body parts actually are, we create some distance between us and those body parts. We create a bit of detachment from it, because we see that this body is just biological sort of machine, as it were, and it's not really what we are. You could also imagine, as I said before, I have all this, a little bit of tension in my shoulder, which happens sometimes, but if somebody would chop off my shoulder, I would still be there if I would survive that. But so that shows you that the shoulder is not really me. It's not really. I don't really own that shoulder. Yeah? So just to have that perspective of not owning your body, whatever way you contemplate, that creates this separation, makes it easier to relax the body, because you remove yourself from it. And it's so much easier to relax something, to let something go, which you don't feel a sense of ownership towards. Yeah? It's like when you go visiting a friend's house, you don't feel so inclined to clean the toilet, I hope, or not as much as your own house, because you don't own that house. So that can be, the friend's house can be as messy as he wants or she wants, and you don't, because you don't own it, you don't care so much. So it's easier to let it go. It's the same with the body. If you don't own your body, it becomes easier to relax it. So that's number 4. That's body contemplation. What you can do to help relax the body. And then number 5 is also based on the Buddha's words, although it's not directly, it's a little bit tangential, but this is can be useful for certain people, maybe not for others. Just see maybe it works for you, which is to focus on, not on the physical body, but on the, what is a good name for it? The body calls it, the Buddha calls it the Manomayakai, which is like the mental, mind-made body, which is inside of us. It's like the energetic body, I think. Some people call it, and it's also connected to a little bit to chakras, although that is not taught in Buddhism so much. It's more like a Hindu thing, but to focus on, if you can get in touch with this, it's really helpful. It's the internal energy body, as it were. And then you can feel not just the physical body, but at the same time the mental body inside as well. And this can be really interesting, because then you can have pain in the body and at the same time relaxation in the body at the same place. But these are different kind of bodies. The one is the physical and the other is the some people call it astral body or something. And if you can get in touch with that, I don't have any particular techniques for that, unfortunately, but many people, I think, naturally have this connection with that body. I think there was some research done that shows that 10% of people have some sort of out-of-body experience, which means an experience wherein they separate their energy body from their physical body. This can happen sometimes happens in a car crash, for example. Because car crashes and the inertia that you still have sometimes propels people out of their physical body and they go outside their body. And it happens also in the surgery sometimes. People almost die and they wake up floating outside their body in their energetic body. And I think amongst meditators, so the research was 10% for average people. I think amongst meditators must be somewhat higher than those 10%, maybe, 20, I'm just guessing here. But if you have those sort of experiences, and I think many of you who are listening are thinking that you may be the only one who have some experience like this, but apparently it's quite common. And if you have these kind of experiences, it helps you getting to contact with this energetic body, which in turn helps you let go of your physical body, because you realize there's more than just the physical body. But even if you don't have these kind of experiences, then still you can imagine having this physical or this energy body inside of you. And by just imagining it, you can get in touch with it. And then you can, by getting in touch with it, you can relax your physical body and let it go. So that's another way you can use in meditation to relax your body. So those are 5 ways to relax. And unfortunately, I don't think we have much time left to actually practice them for this recording. So I will just encourage you to just try it by yourself. After this talk is done, maybe I will also just sit by myself and practice one of these 5 techniques. Enjoy yourself, have a good time. So once more, those 5 techniques were breathing in the peace, breathing out all the tension. Number 2, what's number 2 again? Number 2 was, starting with feeling the peaceful parts of your body. That's spreading the relaxation, starting from there. Number 3 is start not with the body, but start with the joy in the mind. You can just imagine all those joyful feelings. Sometimes you just start with the joy and just become so strong you just let go of your body straight away. But that's you can also just start with the joy and spread it throughout the body. Number 4 is body contemplation. To see the body as it actually is helps us let it go. Number 5 is a bit more esoteric maybe, is but still I think can be very useful for some people, is focus on the energetic body that we have inside of us. So those are the 5 ways to relax our body. And may you all have lots of relaxation, and from that, lots of beautiful meditation, and lots of peace and happiness. And maybe to hook this up a little bit with the Corona thing, which I was supposed to talk about, I think. By all this bodily relaxation, you will be more resilient for any viruses or bacteria, and if you do get something, you are more likely to overcome it very easily. It's not a given. Sometimes we just get sick, and even the best meditators get sick, but it'll definitely help. And that's all I got to say for today, and I hope you're all happy and well.